everyone, welcome back to my channel, Warren Canonigo, and you're watching the FYI sessions, where Filipino learners can savor bite-sized English lessons with me, Teacher Warren, and my references, the Merriam-Webster Dictionary and Printed Sol Grammar and Composition book by Gary Ferlini and co-authors. For today, I also would like to thank the people behind literarydevices.net. So, hi everyone. Today, I will be sharing to you examples of onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia. Yes, onomatopoeia. Seems like a tongue twister, right? Really, I agree. It's tongue twister-ish. But with practice, you can definitely get the pronunciation. Onomatopoeia. What is an onomatopoeia? An onomatopoeia is a figure of speech and at the same time a literary sound device characterized by the use of a word formed or structured by imitating the sound its meaning is referring to. Okay. It can also be used as an adjective. So we will change the spelling a little bit and we will make it onomatopoeic or onomatopoetic. Onomatopoeic or onomatopoetic to refer to the word. So you can say onomatopoeic word. So onomatopoeic then is an adjective. The noun is onomatopoeia. Okay. So speaking of imitation of sounds, for example, buzz is an onomatopoeia because it is inspired by the sound produced by bees. Another example is hiss, which is inspired by the sound of snakes. Oinks, pigs. Quack, moo, cows. Quack for ducks. And then you say sneeze, it's a manifestation related to a symptom of an allergic reaction. So those are some examples. I will tell you more examples of onomatopoeic words later. But before that, let's first talk about another consonant sound that I'm so excited to present to you, and that is the sound of z, z, z. Okay, it's characterized by the lowercase letter z, and the sound is z, z, as in zoology, xenophobia, xylophone, xanthone, and tableaus. Okay, so let's go to the first example. Z as in zoology. So the pronunciation is zoology or zoology, not zoology. Okay, it's zoology. So it really pays to double check the transcription so that he can perform the correct pronunciation. Zoology. Now, we all know that zoology is a branch of biology, and this kind of science studies animal life, all about animals. And this word reminds me of the fact that even though our country is a small one, there are more than 10 endemic animal species in our country. And that's something that we should be really, really proud of. Yes, endemic animal species. When you say endemic, it's a plant or an animal which can only be found in a particular region or particular place. In our case, there are a lot. And the example for that is, of course, the tarsier. We can find it that's endemic in our country. Of course, the tamaraw, the Philippine monkey-eating eagle, and there are many if you will check and you will do further research. Okay. And another thing, the word species is already in its singular and plural form. So you don't have to remove the S if you're referring to a singular thing and then put back the S if it's plural. You don't have to do that. It is again singular and plural in form already. So singular or plural, just say species. Okay, next word is xenophobia. Xenophobia, if you would notice, the spelling has letter X in it. But surprisingly, in the transcription, the letter X in the spelling should be pronounced Z. You say xenophobia. Xenophobia. Xenophobia is the fear of. If okay, if the word has the suffix phobia, it means that that word means something about fear. And you just have to be more specific about it by analyzing the word before the suffix phobia. Again, going back to xenophobia, it's the fear of unfamiliar things, fear of a strange country, strange place, strange things, strange people. So xenophobic people are intimidated or are fearful of places and things that they're not familiar of, and people they consider to be strangers. Those are that's what we call xenophobia. Okay, next is the third example. Xylophone is another word in English which has letter X in it, which should be pronounced as Z. So in this case, then you pronounce it xylophone. Xylophone. A xylophone is a percussion instrument which you want to play it. It's set like a table, kind of like the piano. But the modern lyre used by members of the modern drum and bugle corps is like this. Please take a look at the picture. It's handy and it's portable, and it's the one we used when I was still a member of the TNVS Drum and Bugle Corps with my younger sister as one of the majorettes. That was truly an exciting chapter of our lives, the high school, what you call the high school years. Okay. And by the way, I was one of the lyrists. So that particular instrument we used was a lyre, which is similar to a xylophone, only that it's handy and it's portable. Okay. Next, the next example is xanthone. Another example of an English word with letter X in the spelling, but should be pronounced Z. Xanthone. Xanthone is it's a yellow pigment. That is why its name comes from the Greek word for yellow, xanthus. It's a kind of substance, specifically a compound that can be found in fruits such as mangosteen, specifically the rind or the shell of the mangosteen, where there is a great concentration of the substance xanthone. And xanthone has definitely health properties. So if you'll do further research, you will find out why xanthone is basically how do you call this, a prominent component of some of our wellness products in the market today, like supplements, and some alternative medicine stuff. Okay, next is we have, the last example is tableaus. Tableaus. The spelling has letter X as the last letter, but the pronunciation is Z. Tableaus. That's a plural form. The singular form is tableau. Tableau is a depiction of a scene using motionless actors or model figures. And my favorite example of a tableau with model figures is the nativity scene, which is a special exhibition used in Christian tradition, especially during Christmas. It's composed of model figures of Mary, baby Jesus, Father Joseph, and we have the three kings. We have a donkey, two sheep, we have a cow, we have a shepherd with a staff, and in some tableaus you can also see an angel. By the way, when you say sheep, that's the name of an animal. It's also, just like the word species, already in its singular and plural form. So if you refer to more than one sheep, you still say sheep. You don't need to add the letter S. Okay. So the nativity scene is a popular example of a tableau because a scene has been depicted, the birth of Jesus Christ. But in that case, we are using model figures, statuettes, figurines, sometimes mannequins. We can also use real people. In fact, a very interesting game can be done in the classroom, and it's called Paint Me a Picture. Paint Me a Picture is actually a game in a learning environment, and that game is inspired by the idea of a tableau. In that case, the teacher will divide the class into 4 or 5 groups, And then in 20 to 30 seconds, the teacher would expect the students to freeze. And by that time, they shall have depicted a scene by posing or temporarily posing so the teacher can clearly see what scene is being depicted. And I would suggest for teachers that before you do that in a classroom, also please research on the guidelines and the criteria of an effective tableau, so that it will be fair for you. You would be you really will have the wisdom to judge which among the groups in the class would be declared the champion or the winner. Okay, so thank you very much. Again, Z as in zoology, xenophobia, xylophone, xanthone, and tableaus. Okay. So let's now continue with presenting to you examples of onomatopoeia or onomatopoeic words. Let's start with drizzle. Drizzle. In the Cebuano Visayan dialect, drizzle means taligsik. So drizzle is a light rain, and if it's just happening for a short duration, you can just say light shower. A shower, because shower means a rain with a short duration. So you can say drizzle is light rain, and maybe light shower if the duration is short. That's drizzle. So it's drizzling is the English of nagtaligsik in the Cebuano Visayan dialects. Drizzle, inspired by that particular sound. So this will qualify as an onomatopoeia or onomatopoeic word. Next is we have gasp. Gasp is a sound which is an imitation of the kind of breathing that we do when we are trying to catch for it. When we're trying to catch our breath and we're laboriously breathing because we're done with a hard run, a long run, or when we're done dancing, or when we're done doing an activity which requires a lot of physical effort, kind of like a Herculean task. So that is gasp. Okay. Another one is murmur. Murmur are, I don't know, when you say murmur, it's a description that you give to an event when people are talking with an undefined sound, like they're just talking to themselves because there is a polarizing topic or a controversial issue or intriguing one, and no one would like to stand to assert whatever that one is, so they resort to just talking among themselves. So it's like in Cebuano Visayan word, murag nagpagulbol. That's murmur. Okay. Burp or belch is an imitation of the sound we produce when there is an expulsion of gas from our digestive system. It's like a loud kind of, not really breath, but it's like a loud hiccup. Okay. Next is spray. It's the sound produced when a liquid passes through the nozzle and the liquid will be transformed into mist or very small drops or droplets. And the one responsible for that is what we call the atomizer. Okay. Next is ba. Ba is inspired by the bleat of a sheep or sound of the sheep. Hence the nursery rhyme, ba ba, black sheep. Let me try to sing the nursery rhyme. Sorry, let me do it again. Ba ba, black sheep, have you any wool? Yes sir, 3 bags full. 1 for the master, 1 for the dame, 1 for the little boy who lives down the lane. I really love that nursery rhyme. It's my favorite. And of course, I now understand, we now know why the nursery rhyme is entitled Ba Ba Black Sheep. Okay, thank you. Next is ni. And I already, okay, I already gave this as an example earlier. It is an imitation of a cry of a horse, or like the sound of a goat. Neigh. Okay. Next, chirp and tweet. Of course, goes without saying that these onomatopoeic words are inspired by the sound of birds. Okay, so chirp or tweet, they're synonyms. Although the second one, tweet, T-W-E-E-T, is a jargon in social media, specifically Twitter. In Twitter, the post is specifically termed tweet. That's a post. That's what a post is called when you do it in the social media Twitter. It's your tweet or it's your post. Okay. Next is shoe. Shoe. Shoe is an onomatopoeic interjection, and it is an imitation of the sound sh 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 sh, or it's the one of Visayan dialect chit chit chit. It happens when you try to drive away an unwanted animal or a person who is useless or irritating, or you're trying to somehow get near someone who is a problem to you. Say shoo shoo. Again, also interjection, and at the same time, an onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeic interjection that shoo. Okay. The last is squirt. Squirt is the sound when you try to um, draw a content of a tube, and then there is a how do you call that, a fast speed of stream. So when that cream or when that liquid content would pass through the opening of the tube, it creates this sound, squirt sound. When a certain amount should immediately go out of the opening, and it produces the sound. It produces that kind of sound because of the force that's happening in the tube opening. It's squirt, squirt. Okay. So thank you very much for watching this episode. I really had fun, and I'm already excited to upload the rest of the succeeding episodes. Thank you and have a great day. Bye.